Hello all and welcome to the SRC British Grand Prix. A very wet session here. One of the Alpines is already going out. Also, William Pitchford in the Ferrari. Just get the telemetry on. But yeah, Lewis Satchel will be the first one on track. He's been quite happy at that. On the intermediate, so it's not full wet. Everyone's on the intermediates here. Let's just see what he can do. As Casper Stostrom's also coming out onto the track now. Last time we had rain in a session was in Spain, where we happened to take pole, but I was in the race. The last qualifying session we had in the wet was in Portugal. Well, we haven't had a fully wet qualifying yet. It's the first properly wet qualifying here in SRC. We also had a dry to wet one in what's it called? Portugal. So this is a fully intermediate one. Dylan Gill already going very wide there, breaking the 150 metre board on the right side. Luckily there's another one on the left side. As with a lot of people out on outlap, still waiting for some people. Like Steffi here, Vitek Steffi, the Indian driver, making his SRC debut, becoming the 30th driver to compete in an SRC Grand Prix, which is a very interesting statistic. As Lewis Satchel coming around now to start his first lap of the session. It's very slippy out there. Still wait, everyone's now out on the track though, which is quite good. I'm just gonna wait and see what these times are like, and there's a spinner already. It's Dylan Gill at Woodcut. No, then let's watch Lewis Satchel. Into turn 1, down to 6th, and then up to 7th again through turn 2. And yellow flagging sector 3, and that looks like Castostrom as Lewis Satchel. He's just backing off, it looks like. Lewis Satchel having a very nice lap at the moment. Nicely does it. Through the loop and then through Aintree. The Chopers has now no DRS here, obviously, in the wet. The 31-2, and that could probably be beaten. William Pitchford coming around. 31-4, so he is a bit slower. What can Nathan Peacock do? Well, his lap's been invalidated, and Casper Soderstrom. Let's see what he does in that first sector. I think he went quicker. Couldn't fully see it though. Let's see what Joseph Singh does. 30.8, that is very quick. And then Brett Butler does a 31.3. He's our second off Joseph Singh. Lewis Satchel's passing Lewis Satchel, but he is a bit fast to go through it. But he is now through that middle sector, and now every driver is on a lap after Zach Miles crosses the line, which is now. Now everyone is on a lap, valid or invalid. But we're going to see a lap now. Lewis Satchel comes around the final 2 corners here. On board with him. Very nicely does it. Round cloth then. It's a 140.2. That can definitely be improved on. And now we have William Pitchford coming around the final 2 corners. I think Nathan Peacock is going again. William Pitchford does a 42.3. Very slow. Casper Soderstrom is next across the line. And it's a 39.0, so 1.2 seconds up. Joseph Singh, though, will be the next best across the line. What kind of lap can he do? A 39.5. Brett Butler does a 39.1. And Dylan Gill has dropped the car, it looks like. The championship leader really struggling for grip here in the intermediate conditions. And then Raphael Houston, the Flying Dutchman. Very eventful race in Azerbaijan. Very eventful indeed. Dylan Gill comes back into the pit after that failed attempt. But what can he do? It's a 38.2. Very quick there from Raphael Houston. This XFE is going to have to go again. Liam Martin Bradley. 38.2 is the time to beat. What can he do? A 37, 1.1 second gap at the top. What a time there from Liam Martin Bradley. Zach Miles goes third fast for 38.3. 1.1 seconds separates the top two. And that is very interesting. Lewis Satchel coming on to another lap. Maybe this could be improvement. Is the track improving? 39.4 puts himself up to 6th fastest. And going to the pit then is Nathan Peacock. So he is one of the drivers yet to set a time. A lot of people coming back into the pit. Lewis Satchel going for a double run. And it looks like Joseph Singh has run out of fuel. Or has he? No. Brett Butler's run out of fuel. So Joseph Singh going for an improvement on this lap. He is 4 tenths down the middle sector. What can he do here? 40.0. 4 tenths off. He's juicing him over a second run because he is improving in that middle sector. I think he is going for a second lap, a second bite of the cherry here. Or will he come into the pit? No, he's going to come in. There's lap invalidated there. Steffi Visek, I think, is going to have to go for a lap here because his last time got invalidated. So to come around the final two corners here with the Indian driver. Yellow flag sector 2, and that's just that miles run out of fuel. As now, Visek Steffi goes 4th fastest. Solid lap from him. Now Dylan Gill is on another outlap after his failed attempt the first time round. He really needs this because of his championship lead of about 17 points, and currently that is under massive threat because Liam Martin Bradley leads this race. Dylan Gill, championship leader, 3-time race winner. Williams have won the last 3 races on the bounce, with Ryan Turvey's winning Baku. As it looks like it is a drying track. The rain has stopped. So are we going to start to see drivers on the soft? I think we might start to see drivers on the soft. No one's on them yet. But Dylan Gill is going to come around and start that. Let's go through and with the championship leader. Let's go watch his lap. It's now through Abbey. Almost flat. Has to go down to 6th gear. Kicking a bit of water there. Into village here. You've got to be very careful. It's a bit wide. That's not ideal. Managed to keep it within the confines of the track though. And then into the loop and Aintree. You got to keep it very nice and tidy through these 2 corners. We're about halfway through the session now. Still no one on the drive. Maybe it's a bit too wet. But 30.9 the first sector. Surely Dylan Gill should have the quickest track because he is the first. He is on the most recent lap. Surely he should stick it very quick. He should go very quick here. And now through Cops we go. Bit of a break. It's almost flat in the dry. You've got to brake quite a lot in the wet or in changeable conditions. And now through Maggots and Beckett around this iconic track. It's a lot of the grid's home Grand Prix. And actually only 3 drivers who are not from Britain on this grid. Bit of a slide through Chapel. But all 3 of those drivers are in the top 5 here. We're yet to have a British winner in SRC. Let's see if that can. We don't have a non-British winner. I mean, let's see if that can change. Rafael Juice and Casper look very dangerous recently. Joseph Singh backing off. It's P5 for the championship leader. That is not ideal for him. There's people back out on the track on inters. So, is it really time for inters? Brett Butler on a lap. I don't know why he's not back out on inters. The track looks like it's drying. Who's going to be the first to blink? That's what I'm wondering. Who is going to be the first person to blink? And Gonzo's dry compound tyres. Doesn't look a lot of people have the bravery to stick a set of softs on. This track is a very much drying track though. It's basically whoever's takes that lap last should have the highest chance of getting pole because we're on a constantly drying track. And Brett Butler goes P2. Very good lap from him. Nathan Peacock, meanwhile, is on out lap, I believe. Yes, he is. Dylan Gill is on an in lap. So let's go and watch Nathan Peacock on this very good lap. Brett Butler has run out of fuel now, and he goes lap as it looks like in the final sector. Dylan Gill spins again. He is struggling for grip here in Silverstone. Maybe he's gone for a bit of a dry setup. And Liam Martin Bradley has put on the soft, but is yet to come out. Interesting. Who will be the first one to come out on a set of softs? That's what I'm waiting for. Maybe Peacock letting him through. A lot of drivers coming out, but still everyone on the soft. The drivers are sticking to the inters, so this could be a very good strategy call. But their softs are ready on Liam Martin Bradley, the man who is currently second in the championship and has 3 wins to his name and 3 pole positions actually after his most recent pole in Baku. He has had a couple poor races, but Baku was very eventful one for him. He ended up getting P2 in that in the end. Still behind Ryan Turvey though. Who's gonna blink? Still looks like nobody is blinking to go onto those soft compound tyres. Everyone on the track is on inters, and then everyone in the pit still has inters on, apart from Martin Bradley, who is on the soft but hasn't actually gone out on them yet. But what is going on? And 36.1, that is a fast lap by a second for Zach Miles. Didn't even see that one. He's just gone fast as the ball. The track is definitely dry, but is it still inters or are the dries going to come into effect here? The track still looks pretty damp, but we could see some drivers be a bit brave, and you can see now. Oh, Castell's back onto the inters, but you can see Joseph Sting and Liam Martin Bradley being very brave indeed and slapping a set of inters and slapping a set of softs on. But no, Joseph Sting also sticks the inters. Dylan Gill going out on inters, it looks like. All these drivers sticking with inters. We can have a very big mixed up grid. Joseph Sting's back on the soft, so only 2 drivers actually sticking with the soft compound tyres. William Pitcher goes up to 9th. The times are definitely improving here on the inters. I reckon we're going to see a flurry of cars. I feel like Dylan Gill might have made the wrong decision going for dries, and Vitek Seppi might have wanted to just box there because I don't know if he's going to be able to get back round in time. He has just gone second fastest. And it definitely looks so much driving at the start of the session. Zach Miles is going to have enough time to went back into the pit, put some softs on and go out for a lap. That's everyone's wondering, I think. Joseph Sting's gone out on dries. But Brett Butler and Liam Martin Bradley are both on the soft. So is Casper Soderstrom. Joseph Sting has picked the inters, and that could prove to be very costly for him. Same with Dylan Gill. William Pitchford probably going to come back into pits. It could be the end of his session. Why is everyone still persisting with inters when it looks like a drying track? If I was in this situation, I would pit for the soft compound tyres. But everyone else is just sticking with inters, playing the safe game. And Liam Bradley and Brett Butler could be the two starting on the front row at this rate. Dylan Gill was on his lap now. Everyone's picked off. Interesting. As Zach Miles is on course to get pole position here by a whole second, but you have to remember Liam Bradley and Brett Butler behind, and interesting decision. Liam Bradley is out on the softs. We have to look out for him as Dylan Gill goes a second quicker in the first sector. The time's definitely ramping up. Everyone's out on inters apart from Martin Bradley, who's just sitting there out on the soft. Is this decision going to be right or wrong? We don't know yet. A minute 48 to go then. 11 drivers still left to do laps. Next person to come across the line is Lewis Satchwell, who's going to have to go again. This will be his last run, it looks like. No, he's getting another lap in before the end of the session. Nathan Peacock as well. He's on an out lap. Dylan Gill come around to what will be his last lap that's been invalid, so maybe he's going to go again. I think he is going to go again. William Pitchford's back in the pits. That's the end of his session. Lewis Satchwell goes very wide, so it looks like that's the end of his session. Next across the line is Dylan Gill, who is going to have to go for another lap. Casper Soderstrom going around to start his final lap of the session. Zach Miles going around to start his final lap of the session. Raphael Justin goes wide on his out lap. That's not good. And it looks like potentially, I don't think he's got enough fuel. Vitek Steffi, that looks like the end of his session. He'll probably box now. No, he's going to keep going. Liam Bradley on the stop, warming up his lap. Did he make the right choice? We're about to find out everything here. Joseph Singh, as Zach Miles is spun on the line. So that's the end of his session. That is practically the end of his session. Joseph Singh is coming around. Now around the final two corners. And then that will be his session practically over. But he might have another chance to go for another run. It's a 36.6. He goes second fastest. Brett Butler is going to start his final run. Raphael Juice as well. The checker flag drops now. William Pitchford is at the end of his session. Lewis Satchwell ends his session. Nathan Peacock will end his session. And that means Dylan Gill will be the next one to cross the line. He has kept it clean here on this lap. And now wait and see who is going to be where. The bottom three has been decided. The two Alpines are Lewis Satchwell and Nathan Peacock. And William Pitchford is your bottom three. So it's 8 drivers still out there. All to play for. Dylan Gill coming around the final corner. He will only start as high as second, but that might even be secured as Casper Soderstrom now comes around the final corner. What can he do as he comes around club? It's a 34.8. He goes on to provisional pole. These times are ramping up. And Vitek Steffi's ran out of fuel. And Zach Miles is on a very slow lap as well. So now we get to Liam Bradley, who chose the soft compound tyres. And it looks like they're working to perfection. He's down at 6, but I'm sure he won't stay there. He's going to come around the final two corners. He's just got to keep it clean around here. And that's his session done. And it should be pole. Great. And now he's going to go about 3 seconds faster than everyone else. 32.2. That is the kind of laps he wanted to see. Joseph Singh is going to start P5. And Brett Butler's lap going bad. And Raphael Houston starts P3. And that is in the qualifying then. Liam Bradley, for the 4th time this season, will start on pole position. Casper Soderstrom on the front row of him. The Super Swede back in action. And Raphael Houston will be 3rd. He currently sits 3rd in the championship and really helping out Tower in their battle against Red Bull. Half a point separating them going into this race. And that is going to be the end of qualifying as Liam Bradley starts on pole by 2.6 seconds. Not a very orthodox, not a very representative time, because obviously it was a dry to win. He's the only person brave enough to stick on the soft. That is true bravery from him on his quest to become world champion this season. But he'll start on pole ahead of Casper Sjöström, Raphael Houston, Zach Miles in 4th, Dylan Gill 5th, Joseph Singh 6th, Vitek Sefi 7th, Brett Butler 8th, Lewis Satcher on 9th, William Pitchford 10th, and Nathan Peacock will start 11th and last. That's in disqualified.